right, let's talk about some specific faults that we might see, guys, and maybe some drills that I would give you guys to work on with them. We're going to go through snatch, through clean, and through jerk. In fact, we'll just go through snatch and jerk because snatch and clean, very similar. We just do the clean version instead of the snatch version. So hands up if you think that in the first pull, so if you do one of these things, you either go the chest comes up too soon or the hips come up too soon. Who does that apply to? Okay, so a really good drill for you guys. Can you think of something that we could do to fix that? So a snatch grip deadlift, if you do a snatch pull to knee, which is this, sometimes a snatch grip deadlift is just a wide grip deadlift. So snatch grip deadlift per se, not quite, because it'll encourage you to get your hips higher. But just isolating that movement, isolating that position, just doing that snatch pull to knee. Surprise, surprise, a bit of a theme of the weekend. If you need to get better at something, what do? More of that thing, yeah? So if you need to get better at squats, what do? If your glycolytic energy system is weak, what energy system should you be working? Glycolytic energy system, that one that you just said. If you've got a low anaerobic threshold, train around your anaerobic threshold. Yep, train at the stuff you're weak at. This is the weakness bias training. So if we've identified something that needs work on a macro in terms of the whole snatch, we want to break it down and look just at the micro, just that little bit that needs work, and then add something on top of it. How about if the bar is drifting away from your body in that second pull? So the bar's floating away. Who does that? Who swings it away like a kettlebell? Yeah? Yeah. So it's just all glutes and hammies and lower back. It's that lobbing a hand grenade, which, yes, creates a lot of damage, but in all directions. We want the damage going upwards only against gravity. So if that's you, there are a couple of things that could be happening, but you're probably missing your power position. Because if you're in a good power position and you extend upwards aggressively through your knee, it's very hard for you to then swing your hips out and very hard for you to then get the bar traveling away from you like a kettlebell swing. So in that case, I would practice in that power position, getting into your power position, doing snatch pulls, power snatch, power clean, full snatch, full clean. And then combining that with your full movement. So again, taking that whole movement and doing a little piece of it. What that will do is it will bring your attention to that power position, and you can't really think about that as you go. So if you think, okay, power position, as you're going through a snatch, probably not going to happen. You just have to drill it enough times, thousands of times, that you automatically go through that position as you go. Who bends their arms early in their lifts? Yeah, as soon as you bend your arms, you start to lose the power. What if we put you in a range where it's impossible to bend your arms? So again, if you start from your power position and then go into that aggressive extension of the knee, if you're already there, if you're already in that position, then you're going to be able to finish with straight arms because you can't bend the arms because there's no time to. You're already here near the end. And if you do that and then work your way down into a high hang, halfway down your legs, and then to the top of your knee, and then work your way down, making sure that at no point do you bend your arms, and if you do, you go back to the previous level. That's our top-down method here, where you don't progress down the body until it looks good from here. That will give you more power. Not finishing the pull. So who doesn't extend their knees at the top of their lifts? They don't finish the pull. A snatch pull, yeah? Something where the focus of the drill is that fault. So the snatch pulls that we did, the first bit of what we did today, you're finishing that pull, you're locking the knees. And different cues will work for different people. Some people it'll be lock knees, some squeeze quads, some pull knees back, some extend the knees. Find the one that works well for you, that resonates for you. From a coaching point of view, what I'll quite often do is say to someone, okay, that looked really good. If you were going to travel back in time half an hour and teach that to yourself half an hour ago, what would you say? And they might say, oh, snap your knees. And that's a cue that I never thought of using for that person, but that's how their mind articulated it. So work out what the cue is for you, what the action words, again, we talk about imagery, as we did before this morning. Talk about those action words to initiate that movement. Identify the fault and narrow down on that fault. How about if your feet aren't moving into a good position, or you're riding the bar down? Who sort of like snatches it and then slowly rides the bar down? Something like a snatch balance, a tall snatch. Hand up if you don't know what a tall snatch is. Okay. Maya, can you do a tall snatch for me, please? Rebby, can you do a tall snatch for me, please? Okay, so Olympic lifting, guys, is all about pulls. The first pull is to the knee. The second pull, any bar is fine. And then the third pull is under the bar. A tall snatch is isolating that third pull. Rebby's going to stand tall. She's going to lock her knees. Now, she's not allowed to push down into the ground. She's not allowed to jump. All she's allowed to do is drop. Ready? And go. Stand. Again. Stand tall. Drop. Stand. Now, if we go heavier and heavier and heavier with that, thanks, Rebby. If we go heavier with that movement, she is going to be forced to drop under the bar. You can't cheat on that. Because if you do, it's obvious that you've bent the knees and driven with the knees, which doesn't work. So it's not a movement, if done correctly, that you can cheat on. The only way to get under that bar fast is to get under the bar fast. It's the only way you can actually do that drill. So that's really useful for getting under the bar a little bit quicker. How about if the bar is crashing down on you? So who cleans and then the bar sort of comes down and crunches down? Most people do. And you almost broke your collarbone doing that, didn't you? All right. Most people do. If you film and watch your video in slow motion, that bar will come up, it'll come down and come crashing down on top of you. It's important to remember that, like I said, Olympic lifting is a series of pulls. You're pulling the bar up or you're pulling the body down. You pull the bar up and then you pull your body under. There's never actually a point in Olympic weightlifting where the bar weighs nothing. There's never actually a point in Olympic weightlifting where it's free falling, where it's just in the air. You're always doing some work on that. Whether the work you're doing on the bar is moving the bar upwards or the work you're doing on the bar is moving your body underneath it. You're always doing work on that bar. So pulling under, again, doing tall snatches or tall cleans like that can be an effective way of doing that. How about if your issue is losing balance in the receiving position? So you receive it and sometimes you fall back, sometimes you fall forward. Yeah? Now, sometimes that's an issue with one of these dots further up the chain. There's something before has gone wrong. Because if something is wrong between the ground and the knee, you're guaranteed that something is going to be wrong above that point. But if it's just a matter of balance, of control, a motor control issue here, as opposed to a technique issue, you just need to spend more time landing in that position. Something like a snatch balance is a really good strategy for this. Jump up, show me snatch balance. So the bar starting behind the neck. And what this does is takes all of the balance requirements of a snatch. Cool. Dip, drive, drop. Dip, lock, drop. Good. One more time. It takes all the balance elements of a snatch. Stand tall. Power position. Snatch. Cool. And rest. Thank you. So the snatch balance gets you dropping under the bar, but without all the confusion of all this other stuff going on. It isolates the fault. Then we take Danny straight away while the echo of the snatch balance is still going around in her mind, and do then that snatch, and her balance is then in a good position. Make it more simple, less complex, practice that and go from there. Okay? Can you guys see how we can start to put together a little bit of a pattern of how to fix any faults that you may be having? Again, my aim with this is not to say, here is a correction for every fault that you guys may have. On the contrary, my aim today is to, teach a man to fish, show you how to understand how to make the corrections. If I'm doing this, I need to do something like this, and then you can have some independence in this. So you're not stuck on someone has to give you feedback all the time, because it's not always applicable. If you're in a class-based setting or you train on your own, it doesn't always work. You should be able to self-correct to a degree. Okay?